Hello there guys, welcome to one of my live videos, and on this video tonight I am going to be giving you an update on some more transfer news, keep you up to date of what players are linked with Manchester United like I do on a regular basis. So I am going to be giving you some additional information on Saul Niguez from Atletico Madrid. There is positivity coming out regarding Saul Niguez. Also, after that, I'm going to be giving you a bit more additional information on Moussa Dembele, and same thing with Saul Niguez. Positivity is coming out regarding Moussa Dembele, and after that, I'm going to be talking with you about, the attackers that, could be leaving Manchester United this summer. I think around 4 attackers could leave the football club in the summer and that. So there you go. So let's start with the news on Saul Niguez. So these reports are stemming from Spain. I've just actually read this in the Evening Standard, and they reportedly said that Saul Niguez to Manchester United is practically done. So reportedly, we are set to complete the signing of Saul Niguez from Atletico Madrid. Obviously, we can get him in a cut price deal, due to, the financial issues with the coronavirus pandemic. So I think we are set to get Saul Niguez for around £70 million. Obviously, Saul Niguez's release clause in his contract with Atletico Madrid is in the 130 odd million pound range in that. And don't forget, it was a good 3 or 4 weeks ago now. Atletico Madrid did say, they are not determined to offload Saul Niguez unless his release clause is triggered in that. But I can't see many teams, if any, triggering his release clause. Now, obviously, Saul Niguez has been at Atletico Madrid for several years. He spent the vast majority of his career with Atletico Madrid. I think he's been at Atletico Madrid since 2008, and now he's still at Atletico Madrid now. So I think this has been his 12th season with Atletico Madrid. I think he's made around 384 appearances or something like that in all competitions. Saul Niguez has got a contract with Atletico Madrid until 2026, so he's still got a good, 5.5 years left on his deal, because obviously, back in 2017, Saul Niguez signed a 9-year contract with Atletico Madrid. He is only the age of, 25 or 26, so he is in his mid-20s. He can play as a holding midfielder, and he can also play as a box-to-box midfielder, but I think he's actually predominantly a holding midfielder. When he was younger, he was predominantly a centre-half. Now, I think also too, Manchester City have been keen on Saul Niguez, but I think Atletico Madrid will have to accept, that they'll have to lose him for around £70 million. Now, obviously, there's quite a few players, that have been linked with a move away from Atletico Madrid. Also, Thomas Partey is another one, and I'd probably take Thomas Partey at Manchester United. It would be a much cheaper solution than Saul Niguez. Of course, Atletico Madrid have lost quite a few of their imperative players in recent years. Don't forget they lost Griezmann last summer after he endured 5 years with Atletico Madrid. They also lost Diego Godin. I think Godin endured a good, 8 or 9 years with Atletico Madrid, so was a long-serving player. They also lost Rodri last year. Don't forget, they lost Jimenez, around 5 or 6 years ago now, so they have lost quite a few of their imperative players. But there again, Atletico Madrid have recruited quite a few players in recently. Obviously, they got the likes of Joel Felix in, who they paid £113 million for. Joel Felix is the 4th most expensive player in the world. Obviously, they got Kieran Trippier in as well. They also got Thomas Lemar in. I think they got Diego Costa and Navarro Morata in recent years. So they have recruited quite a few players in and that. So yeah, so if the recent reports are to be believed, we have got a chance of getting Saul Niguez on the board. We really, really haven't that. So that is the latest news on him. And I did say, Manchester United do need a midfielder. You were basically, seeing Saul Niguez as an adequate replacement for Paul Pogba. But there's been a few players on our agenda who could replace Paul Pogba at the football club. These much cheaper solutions than, Saul Niguez, to be quite honest with you. Saul Niguez has actually, never played in the Premier League. So do you think if he came to the Premier League, he'd live up to expectations? We shall see in that. So that's the news on him. Now, let's give you the news on Moussa Dembele. I am going to reiterate some of the stuff I mentioned not too long ago regarding Moussa Dembele. Now, reports are coming out. I also saw this in the Evening Standard, and it has mentioned that Manchester United have agreed a fee in the region of £62 million with Lyon for Moussa Dembele. So the fee's been agreed reportedly at £62 million. Don't forget, reports said not too long ago that we've reached an agreement in general anyway with Lyon for the transfer of Moussa Dembele. So I think, we've beaten Chelsea to the signing of the player, because Chelsea have also expressed their interest. Now, Moussa Dembele, I think he did say, revealed that, he wants to come to Manchester United, because he did say the other week that, he will find it hard to turn down a move to Man United. And I would definitely take Moussa Dembele at Manchester United now. I'll give you the couple of reasons why I take him at the club, because he's well proven in the Premier League. Because don't forget, Moussa Dembele used to play for Fulham when he was younger, and he began his senior career with Fulham. And I think he scored like 19 goals in 64 competitive matches for Fulham. Plus, he's a prolific goal scorer, and plus, he is an out-and-out number 9. He's Moussa Dembele, and we have inquired about his availability before. Obviously, he's now at Lyon at this current present time. This has been his second season with Lyon as Moussa Dembele's, and I think he scored like 42 goals in 88 games for Lyon. He has got a contract with Lyon until 2023 as Moussa Dembele. Lyon did pay around £20 million to him from Celtic back in the summer of 2018. Moussa Dembele also enjoyed a few good years with Celtic. Scored 52 goals in 94 games. 52 goals in 94 games in all competitions and that. So yeah, I'd definitely take him at Man United. So reportedly, a fee has been agreed in that. So hopefully, he's the striker, that Manchester United do recommend in. There has obviously, been a lot of strikers on our agenda anyway. There's a few strikers that probably, would be cheaper solutions than Moussa Dembele and that. And he's only the age of 23, don't forget. And I think, it would be a good adequate replacement for Romelu Lukaku, because like I mentioned before, we're looking for a replacement for Romelu Lukaku, because obviously, don't forget, Lukaku left the football club last summer. We got £72 million for him. He went to Inter Milan. We recouped the vast majority of the £75 million that were paid for him from Everton, back in 2017. And in reality, we did make a mistake by getting rid of Romelu Lukaku and that. So that's the news on Moussa Dembele. Obviously, my other videos that I've done today, I'll give you the news on Raul Jimenez from Wolves. He's also been another striker on our agenda. I'm very, very sceptical that, Man United will sign Raul Jimenez, but, you've had Duncan Castles from the Times coming out today, and Duncan Castles tends to be very, very close to Man United, and he actually, said that we're set to battle Juventus for Raul Jimenez, and he did actually, say that Wolves have made a decision that they're going to sell Raul Jimenez at the end of the season, but Raul Jimenez did reveal that his actual preference would be moved to Liverpool. That's if he was to remain in England, but Raul Jimenez did say earlier on this month, I think it was at the start of this month, he did say that he's happy with Wolves. But Raul Jimenez is aware of the speculation. He knows the amount of clubs that have been linked with him in that. And he did say he'd only consider leaving Wolves if Real Madrid or Barcelona went in for him. I was reading reports recently and it said Wolves want around 88 or 89 million pounds for him. That's a bit too much for Raul Jimenez. He's a very, very good player and he's well Premier League proven, but he is the age of 29. So if he was to come to Man United, how many years would we get out of him? We could maybe get 2, 3, maybe even 4 years out of Raul Jimenez. And that. But definitely, if the opportunity was there, I would take Raul Jimenez at Manchester United. I really, really would. But I think he's going to be leaving Wolves at the end of the season, because Wolves are looking for an adequate replacement for Raul Jimenez and that. And don't forget, they've been in for Carlos Vinicius from Benfica. I think, Wolves said they want to pay around £53 million, maybe a bit more, but I don't think they're going to get him because, Benfica have said, they'll only sell Carlos Vinicius if his £88 million release clause is triggered, unless Wolves are willing to pay £88 million, which I can't see happening. George Mendes, he's been working with Wolves in recent years and that, and he's working on Wolves, trying to get an adequate replacement for Raul Jimenez. I think Raul Jimenez has done very, very well for Wolves, to be quite honest with you. Obviously, Wolves did get him permanently last summer for £34 million. So he's actually, Wolves' most expensive signing, I think. He's got a contract with Wolves until 2023 as Raul Jimenez. So there's still quite a few years left on his contract. But Wolves got him permanently because, he did very, very well on his loan spell with Wolves and that. I think he's made around 67 appearances in the Premier League and scored around 26 goals as Raul Jimenez. He was at Benfica before Wolves. I heard that he didn't enjoy a great time at Benfica and he was there for a few years. He also had a few years at Atletico Madrid. And he began his career in America. He was in their youth system and that. But yeah, I'd definitely take him at Manchester United if the opportunity was there. Like I said, there's probably more chance of us getting Raul Jimenez than there is of Harry Kane, but we're not going to get Raul Jimenez, but I can definitely assure that we're not going to get Harry Kane. I've already fully disregarded that. Kane is not coming to Manchester United this summer. I'm not too sure about the foreseeable future, but don't forget, Tottenham did say if they were to sell Harry Kane this summer, they would want a world record fee of £200 million. Obviously, Tottenham wanted this because obviously they've still got to pay off their stadium loan, their £1 billion stadium. Plus, I think the transfer fees out as well, do Tottenham. So this is why they want £200 million for him. I think it did say a while back, though, we may be determined to pay £100 million for Kane, but not any more than that. Don't get me wrong, Kane is a very, very good player and he is well proven in the Premier League and that, but I just think £200 million is far too much money. It did fuel a lot of speculation up, back in March, when he came out and said that, he could leave Tottenham if he feels as though the team are not progressing, and did say he will not stay at Tottenham for the sake of it and that. And Kane's had a few injuries during his career with Tottenham as well, so that is an element of concern. But with Raul Jimenez, I haven't really known him have any injuries for Wolves. But Kane's still a very, very good player, because he's Tottenham's third highest goal scorer in their history. Don't forget, he did sustain a hamstring injury in January, but we won't be getting Kane on the board. Timo Werner, we won't be getting him either. We won't get Timo Werner. I'm going to fully disregard Timo Werner coming to Man United. What'll happen with Timo Werner is he'll either go to Liverpool in this summer, or he will remain with RB Leipzig until next summer and that. I don't know. And then maybe next summer then Liverpool will get him. Timo Werner's already revealed anyway that he wants to go to Liverpool. Werner is a cheap solution because, his release clause is like £52 million. Obviously, if Leipzig don't win the Bundesliga this season, then his release clause drops from £52 million to £44 million. It did say Liverpool may wait until the end of the season. I think, was it James Pearce? He came out today and said Timo Werner's move to Liverpool is on hold. I think it was James Pearce, if I'm right. But yeah, I don't know. Obviously, David Ornstein, he was a credible journalist. He actually indicated out saying that Liverpool may not make any signings this summer. But we won't get Timo Werner. But I'd take him at Manchester United if the opportunity was there because his versatility is very, very good. He's only young as well. I think he's done very, very well at RB Leipzig. This has been his fourth season with RB Leipzig as Timo Werner's. And he's scored, 88 goals in 150 appearances, 72 goals, is it, in the Bundesliga or something like that. He's got a contract with Leipzig till 2023. Leipzig only paid around, £10 million for him from Stuttgart. He was very, very good at Stuttgart. I think he was in Stuttgart senior squad for 3 years. And don't forget, Timo Werner became the youngest player to reach 200 Bundesliga appearances. But, Timo Werner's held personal talks with Jurgen Klopp because back in February he described Jurgen Klopp as one of the best managers in the world and he wants to play under his guidance. And Timo Werner give the four main explanations why he wants to go and play at Liverpool because of the manager, the environmental offer, the coaches and the teammates. These are the four reasons why Werner wants to go to Liverpool. But Liverpool have been relentlessly linked with the player. But Werner's also held talks with us. He's also held talks with Barcelona. I think Chelsea have also been in negotiations with his agent, but we won't get Timo Werner on the board. Obviously, Erling Haaland. I spoke with you about Erling Haaland, didn't I, on my video that I did this morning. Man United and Real Madrid are set to battle it out for Erling Haaland. Obviously, if Haaland does become available, then we will revive our interest in the player. I do like Erling Haaland a lot, and like I mentioned, it was a shame that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't get Erling Haaland back in the January transfer window because, like I mentioned, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing. Plus, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's worked with him. I think it was around 3 years ago Solskjaer gave Erling Haaland his debut at Mold. And Solskjaer, of course, is keen on a reunion with Erling Haaland. Don't forget, back in January, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ed Woodward went up to Norway to meet up with Haaland, to discuss a possible move to Manchester United and that. But I think there was a couple of main explanations why Haaland rejected Man United and, of course, went to Borussia Dortmund, because there's been uncertainty over Solskjaer's future. And plus, we had no Champions League football to offer, but it was a shame we didn't get him. Look at it from a financial point of view as well. He was available for the cheap. He was a cheap solution. He was available on the cheap. He'd have only cost us like, £17 million. But since his arrival at Dortmund, Haaland, he's done very, very well. Don't forget he got his name on the score sheet yesterday in Borussia Dortmund's 4-0 win against Schalke. I think he scored 2, didn't he, if I'm correct? Did Erling Haaland. He's got a contract with Dortmund until 2024, and I think he did mention that he's got like a £60-odd million release clause. Reports came out a while ago saying that his release clause may not be active until 2022. But if we was to try and get him in the summer, it'd probably cost more than his actual release clause. Probably it'd cost us around maybe in the 70-odd or 80-odd million pound range. But I'd definitely take Haaland at Manchester United and that. So many strikers on our agenda. So yeah. So that is the latest news on all of that anyway. So now let's delve into the other topic. Like I said, Manchester United could sell for around 4 attackers this summer. Now, one of those attackers that I think, we're going to get rid of is Alexis Sanchez. Obviously, we have been facing a dilemma, with Alexis Sanchez, of course. We've been facing a dilemma with Alexis Sanchez. It's obviously, reflecting on his substantial wages, because Sanchez's wages at Man United are like, $400,000 a week, potentially rising up to $500,000 a week, based on the image rights and the bonuses and etc. and that. And obviously, we wanted to get rid of him permanently last summer, but we couldn't due to his wages. So obviously, we decided to loan him out to Inter Milan. Sanchez has enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Inter Milan. He's enjoyed a very, very difficult time. He seldom played for Inter Milan because, I think he has been out with injury. Now, obviously, Sanchez did enjoy 18 difficult months with us. We did get him from Arsenal back in January 2018 as part of a swap deal of Mkhitaryan going to Arsenal. And we thought Sanchez would have lived up to expectations when he came, but obviously he didn't. He didn't rediscover the form of what he produced in his 3.5-4 years of Arsenal, and also what he did at Barcelona when he was younger. Because don't forget, Sanchez did play under Pep Guardiola's guidance and that. But obviously, he's now on loan at Inter Milan, like I mentioned. Inter Milan have got no intentions of getting him on a permanent transfer, as far as I'm aware. So yeah, we'll get rid of Sanchez. We won't take him back at Manchester United. I doubt that very, very much. He's got a contract with the club till 2022, but I think we'll loan him back out for next season, Alexis Sanchez, because we won't be able to get rid of him permanently. But I don't want him back at the football club. So he's one attacker that's going to be going. Jesse Lingard, he's another attacking player we've got. He could also be leaving in the summer. I was reading reports regarding Jesse Lingard, by the way, and it did say, he could decide to trigger that 1-year extension on his contract, because he's an option of a further year. But disregarding the option of the further year, I think Jesse Lingard has got, is it exactly a year left on his contract, or just under a year left on his contract? The other week it said like up to 4 Premier League clubs were in for him. Probably Jesse Lingard is the worst player we've got. But, like I said to you, reflects on Jesse Lingard's status at the football club and reflects on the number of years he's been here. He should be putting much more better performances out. When we've put Lingard in like the number 10, this was before Fernandes came, or whether we put him on the right, we just couldn't seem to get the best out of him. But since he rivaled Bruno Fernandes anyway, Jesse Lingard has found game time very, very difficult and that. But yeah, I think we do value him at around £30 million. But I think, we do need to get rid of him in the summer. So he's another attacking player, that Man United could move on. Another attacking player, that we could move on. Like I said to you as well, I think James Garner's going to be put out on loan. That has been confirmed, by the way, that James Garner's going to be put out on loan. James Garner's only played a couple of times this season. He's seldom started for the football club as James Garner. I think we're also going to loan to Heath Chong out because his appearances have also been limited as well. I think we're loaning them two players out because of Bruno Fernandes, basically. That's why we're considering loaning both of them players out. Angel Gomez, he's another attacking player, that I think is going to be leaving Manchester United as well. Of course, you already know the news regarding Angel Gomez. I think we're going to lose him on a free transfer at the end of next month because that's when his contract expires. And in reality, it's looking likely he's not going to be signing a new contract with Manchester United because we have put forward a few contract offers for Angel Gomez. We've offered him like a £25,000 a week contract. We offered him a £30,000 a week contract plus additional bonuses, but he did turn these contract offers down. There's been a lot of uncertainty over his future, though. Chelsea have been heavily linked with Gomez. Arsenal were also in for him, and I think Barcelona have also been in for Angel Gomez. I think he's leaving Manchester United, and I think he's got, huge doubts over, getting into the first team. Gomez has only made 6 first-team appearances this season. I think he's only made 10 in total since he broke into the senior squad. He broke into the senior squad back in 2017 under Jose Mourinho, did Angel Gomez. Up until this point, he spent the entirety of his career with the football club as Angel Gomez. The entirety of his career was, And don't forget, became the youngest player to represent Man United since Duncan Edwards back in 1950s. Yes. And became the first player born in the 2000s, to make an appearance in the Premier League. Don't forget, it said last week that, we'd set a deadline for this week, for Angel Gomez to make a decision over his future. But I think he's another attacking player that is, leaving Manchester United. I really, really do. I think he'll probably end up going to Chelsea. Now, I can't remember the last time Chelsea did business with us. I know we've done business with them. We got Matter off them in 2014 for 40 million under Moyes. Matter's now into his 6th season. We got Matic off them for 40 million back in 2017 under the Jose Mourinho era. But yeah, I don't see us keeping Angel Gomez. Odion Ighalo, he won't remain at Manchester United, I don't think. Maybe there's a slight possibility chance, he could remain with us and we could, get him a permanent contract at the club. I think Solskjaer did say he wants Manchester United to get Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer. Don't forget, reports came out last week, was it, saying that Shanghai Shenhua want £20 million, if we are to get Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer, and that, Solskjaer's actually, being advised not to pay £20 million to get Ighalo on a permanent transfer. Obviously, Ighalo has got 4 goals in 3 starts and he's enjoyed a good start to his Man United career and that. And he is a lifelong Man United fan and he's been the vocal part and he's been a good cover-up to Rashford, but he isn't our foreseeable future. And, he's aging up as well. He's, 30 or 31 years of age. I think Odion Ighalo's loan spell at the football club does expire at the end of next month. Don't forget, Ighalo did say last week that he wanted his loan deal at the football club extended. I think his wage at Shanghai Shenhua are like £300,000 a week. So I don't see us getting him permanently. I think he'll probably make a return to Shanghai Shenhua, if I am going to be quite honest with you in that. So yeah, so they're the attackers that I think are going to leave Man United. I've just gone through with you. Like I said, we've got a few players out on loan anyway, as it stands at the moment. Obviously, we've got Dean Henderson out on loan at Sheffield United, and I've got to make an admission, he has been a revelation for Sheffield United as Dean Henderson. Maybe he's a long-term replacement for De Gea. I don't think we'll get rid of Dean Henderson permanently, to be quite honest with you, but I think we're willing to loan him back out for next season because David De Gea is going to remain our number 1 goalkeeper. Smalling and Rojo are both out on loan. Smalling's on loan at Roma. Rojo's out on loan at Estudiantes. We'll get rid of them on permanent transfers, I should presume. Sanchez on loan at Inter Milan. He's on loan at Inter Milan. I think we've also got Joe Pereira out on loan. I think if I'm correct, he's out on loan at Hearts. So yeah, we're going to loan Garner and I think Chong out in the summer. That's what Manchester United are going to do in that. So that is the latest news on all of that. By the way, we have revealed our transfer plans for the summer, as you all know. I think, we can enjoy the perfect summer transfer window. Now, I know we haven't been so good in transfer windows for several years, because we have been criticised, with how poor our recruitment policy's been. We've also been criticised, for us overpaying for players in recent years. And obviously, there's players that we've brought in over the years who we shouldn't have got rid of and that. But I think, we can enjoy the perfect summer transfer window. Now, the main explanation why I think this is because a lot of teams are going to face an unprecedented summer transfer window, with the financial issues, because of the coronavirus pandemic. Liverpool may not sign anybody in the summer. I don't know what Chelsea are going to do. Arsenal's, players have been taking wage cuts. Daniel Levy at Tottenham, he doesn't like to spend money. So I think, we can be very, very competitive in the summer transfer window. And I do believe, we can get the players that we do want in. Solskjaer's obviously said already, he wants us to make around 3 or 4 signings in the summer. This is what he wants to see, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 3 or 4 signings. He still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young British talents to Manchester United like he did do last summer and that. Like we did last summer. But, our top 6 rivals, fear our transfer strategy for the summer. They really, really do. That came out from a report today. I can't actually remember what report it was in. But I think Solskjaer's got a lot of confidence going into the summer transfer window. But it'll be interesting to see how he approaches the summer transfer window. I think, we have really, really improved in the market under Solskjaer. I really, really do think we've improved, because he's obviously got the players that he wanted in, and we've been a bit more sensible with our recruitment. And I credit him, for the players that he has brought in so far. Solskjaer has recommended 5 players into Manchester United and spent around £220 million. Last summer, he spent £150 million, I think, on James Bissaka and Harry Maguire. And of course, in January, we spent £65 million on Fernandes, with add-ons included. Got to say, the signing of Bruno Fernandes definitely saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Man United. And also, too, we got Odina Gallo in on loan. So Solskjaer's made 4 permanent signings and, of course, got 1 player in on loan. But they've been very, very impressive, to be fair. And like I said to you, I think we've got two young upcoming players that are incoming as well, and that's Marc Joado from Barcelona and Joe Huggle from Sunderland and that. So I think they are also incoming as well. But we've done very, very well in the transfer markets under Solskjaer and that. I've got to credit him as well, because he has got rid of a lot of the dead wood since he got recommended into the football club. Solskjaer's going to get rid of around 6 or 7 players in the summer. He's going to get rid of around 6 or 7 players. I think Jones is going to go because he can't even get in the team, Jones has been here since the Ferguson era. I think we're going to get rid of Diego Dalot as well. Well, we could get rid of Diego Dalot. Diego Dalot's only started 1 game this season. He's a backup to Amwan Bissaka. Like I said, Lingard, Pereira, going to go. Lingard and Pereira are going to go in that. So, yeah, we are going to get rid of players in the summer. So, we're going to focus on the outgoings as well as the incomings, definitely in that. Solskjaer, came out, the other week and, he basically, made a key transfer statement and he said, we will enjoy a different transfer window, to the recent transfer windows and that. This is what he said because he knows there's going to be uncertainty over the summer transfer window. Obviously, Ed Woodward, he's been talking a lot. He says, we won't do business as usual in the summer transfer market, but he's still willing to back Solskjaer. And he's said on quite a few occasions this season that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe at the football club. This is what, Ed Woodward has said and that. But like I said to you, I have seen improvements under Solskjaer. I really, really have. And I've also seen changes like his change of personnel, his change of tactics. Like the likes of Martial, Shaw, Fred and Rashford, they've all improved under him as well. And quite a few other players as well have improved. But, obviously, Martial, Shaw, Fred and Rashford all endured difficult times under the Jose Mourinho era. Obviously, Jose Mourinho's got a bad reputation anyway with top players and that. I think, he's promoted the youth very, very well as Solskjaer as well. That's another thing, that's really, really improved. So that's a very, very good thing to see as well. Don't get me wrong, there's still things Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to work on, such as he needs to work out his best formation because he's been changing formation persistently this season. He maybe needs to make a tactical change as well. So there you go. So these still things, that he does need to work on, and that does, Solskjaer. But give him at least a couple more transfer windows at Manchester United, to see who else he can recommend into the football club, because it is a transition period, and like Solskjaer really revealed at the beginning of the year, he's hopeful that we can get through this transition period and that. But like I've said, we've also done well against elite opposition this season. That's also something else that's improved, because last season wasn't so good against elite opposition, really, well, let's be honest. We've taken 17 points against the big six sides this season, which is a positive as well. And yeah, and like I said, Solskjaer is our fourth permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. Obviously, we've sacked 3 managers since the Alex Ferguson era. And of course, that was David Moyes, who enjoyed 89 months with the football club. Obviously, Louis van Gaal got sacked after he enjoyed 2 years at the club. Obviously, Jose Mourinho got sacked after 2.5 years at the football club. So, yeah, we haven't really got the structure to keep sacking managers, and we've only won 3 trophies since Fergie left, and that was the Europa League That was the Europa League and League Cup under Mourinho, and the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal and that. So it just proves, how inconsistent we have been in the last 6 or 7 years or so. We know that we're not getting a director of football either, because, he confirmed this the other week, did Ed Woodward, because we'd been in search for a director of football, for the past couple of years, and there was quite a few names linked to that director's role. But, I think Woodward's got a lot of trustworthy in Solskjaer, and this is why, he's not interested in recommending a director of footballing. But at the time we was in for one, I did say, it's one of the structural changes that we do need at the football club. We've spent, close to the £1 billion range in the last 6 or 7 years on players. We've spent a hell of a lot of money. Like I said, Moyes recruited 2 players and he brought Fellaini and Mata in. Fellaini's no longer here now, though. He left in January 2019. First player to leave under Solskjaer. Van Gaal brought players like Di Maria, Martial Shaw, who was still here, Falcao, Schneiderlin, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Rojo, Darmian, Memphis Depay. Louis van Gaal brought a hell of a lot of players in. Obviously, he got rid of a lot of the players as well that we had under the Ferguson era. And Jose Mourinho recommended a lot of players in. Mourinho recommended 11 players into the football club. And the vast majority of these players are now Jose Mourinho's, because there's only a few players that have left since the Jose Mourinho era. So yeah, that's really it. And obviously, on my last video that is still uploading, I give you the news on what Wayne Rooney come out and said regarding Van Gaal. Rooney believes that we made a mistake getting rid of Van Gaal, because Rooney, has revealed that Van Gaal is the best manager he's ever worked with and that, and he believes we should have given Van Gaal a 3rd season and that. So this is what Wayne Rooney has been saying. So there you go. So that's everything to update today, guys. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.